உலகெல்லாம் உணர்ந்தும் ஓதற்கு அரிய சாயீஸ்வரன் பொற்பாத கமலங்களில் நாம் அனைவரும் சிரம் வைத்து வணங்கி வாழ்த்தி வழிபடுவோம். அனைவருக்கும் சாய்ராம். இன்று நம்மிடையே ஒரு முக்கியமான பக்தர் சுவாமிகிட்ட மிக நெருங்கி பழகி நெடுங்காலம் அவரிடம் மாணாக்கராக இருந்து அங்கேயே அந்த சாயினுடைய பல்கலைக்கழகத்திலேயே பேராசிரியர் ஆகி இன்று ஒயிட்ஃபீல்டு வார்டனாக திகழும் டாக்டர் ரவிக்குமார் அவர்கள் நம்முடைய பேசுவதற்காக வந்திருக்கிறார். சுவாமியினுடைய அருளால் அவருடைய வாழ்க்கையை பார்த்தீங்கன்னா சுவாமி அவரை முழுக்க நம்மளாம் சொல்லுவோம், சுவாமி இஸ் லைக் 1000 மதர்ஸ்ன்ட்டு. அதை போலவே அவரது இளமை காலத்தில் அவர் தாயை இழந்து வருந்தி நிற்கிற சமயத்தில் அவருடைய தகப்பனார் தியாகராஜன் அவர்கள் சுவாமிகிட்ட போய் சரண்டர் ஆகும் பொழுது ரவிக்குமாரை கையில் தூக்கி, டோன்ட் வீப், ஐ ஆம் யுவர் மதர், ஐ வில் லுக் ஆஃப்டர் யூ அப்படின்னார். அதே போல் முழுக்க அவரை பாதுகாத்து ஒயிட்ஃபீல்டில் இருந்த இன்டர்மீடியட் பிஎஸ்சி கெமிஸ்ட்ரிலாம் முடித்து மேற்கொண்டு எம்எஸ்சியும் செய்து அந்த பல்கலைக்கழகத்திலேயே ஆராய்ச்சி பட்டம் பிஹெச்டியும் வாங்கி அங்கேயே முழுக்க ப்ரொஃபஸராக திகழ்ந்து அவருடைய இன்னும் சொல்லப்போனாக்க அவர் இஸ் அ கிரேட் மோட்டிவேட்டிங் ஃபோர்ஸ்ஃபுல் ஸ்பீக்கர். பல முறை சுவாமி முன்னால் பிரசாந்தி நிலையத்தில் பேசியிருக்கிறாரு. அவருடைய அனுபவங்களை பார்த்தா ரொம்ப மயிர்கூர்ச்சி எறிய வைக்கிறது. ஒரே ஒரு இன்சிடென்ட் மட்டும் சொல்ல விரும்புகிறேன். அவருடைய ஆராய்ச்சி செய்கிற காலத்தில் சல்ஃபியூரிக் ஆசிட் கண்ணில் போட்டு 2 கண்ணையும் இழந்து விட்டார். 2 கண்ணும் போயிடுத்து. சுவாமிகிட்ட போய் நிற்கச்ச அவர் கண்களை மீட்டு இன்று முழுமையான பார்வையோடு விளங்குகிறார். இது ஒன்றே போகிறோம். எந்த அளவுக்கு சுவாமி அவரை ப்ரொட்டெக்ஷனோடு ஒரு தாய், மிக அருமையான ஒரு தாயாக அவரை பாதுகாத்து வந்தார்னு அவருடைய பேச்சுரைகளை இனிக்க கேட்டுக்கொண்டே இருக்கலாம். அவரை அழைத்து உங்கள் முன் பேசுமாறு கேட்டுக்கொள்கிறேன். சாய்ராம்.
I offer my prayerful pranams at Bhagwan's lotus feet. Most beloved and revered Bhagwan, respected elders, brothers and sisters. எனக்கு தமிழில் பேசணுன்னு தான் ஆசை. பட் சந்திரன் சார் செந்தமிழ் கேட்டப்போ எனக்கு பயமாக இருக்குது. அதனால் நான் இங்கிலீஷ்லேயே பேசுகிறேன். I often used to wonder before my speech what I should be speaking, because Swami would always send word only at the last minute. There have been a number of occasions when Swami would give just 2 minutes notice, but he always made sure that I realized that he is the speaker and I am the loudspeaker. So I have no problems. I realize that whatever he wants me to speak, because he is the speaker, whatever speaks to me will be the most appropriate for any audience. I must start with a small anecdote. It was one of the 3 sessions. That particular summer vacation, I had spoken a number of times, continuously. Some student came to me with some statistics and said, "Sir, this is going to be a 40-second speech or something." So, as we were sitting next to the Jula, Swami called Mr. Sanjay Sahani, who is presently the director, and said, "Baat karo," he said. And Mr. Sanjay Sahani started off with, "Mukam karoti vachalam pangum langayate girim." With God's grace, He can make the dumb speak and the lame cross mountains. The moment he started like this, I was sitting next to Swami like that. I thought, if Swami asked me today, it is a clear case of vachalam karoti mukam. Swami can make the dumb speak and those who speak to shut up. The moment I thought like that, Swami turned like that at me and gave a beautiful smile, dazzling smile. And as soon as this speech was over, Swami said, "Nu matladu," he said. So I got up. When I was doing namaskar, Swami just whispered into my ears, "Opposite ga cheppu, opposite ga cheppu." And so I said, "Okay, vachalam karoti mukam," finished my speech. After that, one boy came and told me, "Sir, how did you manage, sir? So beautifully you intertwined." Then I said, "Hey, this is all Swami's idea." When he said, "Speak opposite," he had already given me the thought, "Vachalam karoti mukam." And I realized that's what I will do. If he decides that he'll switch off, he'll switch off. One day in Prashanthi Nilayam, I was sitting in the bhajan hall, and behind me there was one gentleman whose name is known to many people. He was called Sai Padananda, a great gentleman. He was himself some 65, 70 years. His mother was 96 years. And he used to carry her, like we say, uppumuta, like that, for darshan. And bring her for darshan. And he had not got married because he wanted to serve his mother. Swami always has a lot of love for such people. So one day, this gentleman was sitting just behind me, and Swami came and stood next to him and said, "How is your mother?" "Swami, she is fine." "Fine?" Swami said. "Swami, not so fine." And then Swami said, "Old age." "Yes, Swami." She was 96. "Bej do," Swami said. "Send her off." Shocked. Then you know what he said? It was even more shocking. He said, "Swami, you are only giving the key." So Swami said, "Huh? I am giving the key? Okay, I will stop today." And a few days later, she passed away. Why few days later? One day Swami was saying, see, when you switch off the fan, it does not switch off immediately. Slowly it comes down to a halt. So within a few days she switched off. When Swami decides to switch off, not only the tongue, the whole body, the whole being comes to a halt. He is the indweller in all beings. Today morning, I was talking to a relative of mine. He doesn't know anything about Swami. And so he asked me, "Ravi, you tell me this. Is Swami a highly perfected human being or is he God?" I said, "Very simple question. He is God." I said, "If after experiencing all that he has given, if I still think that he is anything less than God, there is no greater double distilled fool in this world than me. Swami is absolute God. We should not have the slightest doubt." You might ask me, "What is your conviction in this? How do you say this?" See, I am a science student. I also don't accept anything simply like that. I also don't accept if somebody says Swami is not God because the truth is different. And my experience of the truth is different. How? In 1968, my father was around 50 years. He fell ill. And he went to a doctor. The doctor examined him and gave him some tablets, some medicines. And after a few days, again he fell ill. So the doctor said, this looks a little serious. We must get a biopsy done. So a biopsy was done. And then it was found that he had cancer. So the doctor told my father, see, I'm opening a new nursing home called Surgical Nursing Home. So you come there and I'll do an operation. It will just disappear like that. My father went to Dr. Kalappa was the name of the doctor. He was a very famous doctor. And famous also means very costly doctor. I hope there are no doctors in this assembly, because there is a Subhashitani which says, Namaste astu vaidyaha yamarajasya sahodaraha. Yamarajaha harati pranam. Yamaraja takes your life. Vaidyaha harati pranam dananicha. Takes your life, takes your money also. So in case you survive also, you will not be, no chance. They're only in a lighter vein. This doctor was a very famous doctor. He was a FRCS, a brilliant man. He was an upcoming doctor. Must have been about 40 years or 35 years. Very good man. He was not a devotee of Swami, but he had some experiences of Swami. And at that time, of course, we didn't know about Swami. So he operated on my father and sent him home. And after a few days, again father fell sick. So the doctor took him back to the hospital, operated, sent him back. This happened once, twice, thrice, 4 times, 5 times, 6 times, 7 times. It became a regular routine. See, first my father used to stay in the house and go to the hospital and get operated, come back. After some time, he started staying in the hospital and coming on occasional visit home. So after doing like this, the doctor completed 10 times, 15 times, 20 times, 25 times. After 25 times, he himself thought that he can go into the Guinness Book of Records, I think. So he called my sister, who was also a doctor, and told her, she was also in the final year of MBBS, and told her, look, I told you that I will cure your father with cancer, but it looks that I can't. Whenever a doctor says, I will cure you of cancer, it seems God laughs. God laughs on 2 occasions. When the doctor says, this is a small thing, I can cure you, God says, it seems, I have decided to take him, and who is this fellow to cure? It's one occasion. The second occasion is, it seems, when 2 brothers divide the land and they draw a line and say, this is yours, this is mine. And God says, the whole thing belongs to me. Who are these people to divide? So when this doctor said in the beginning that he will cure, we believed him. And when it came to this, the doctor told my sister, see, actually, there are a few things that science cannot answer. That is the closest a doctor can come to saying that I can't do anything. So, your father has a few days to live. Why don't you take him home? We were 4 children. My eldest sister had not completed her studies. And I was, I think, in the 5th standard at that time. We had lost our mother, as Sir mentioned, when we were very young. I was just 4.5 years when I lost my mother. So the doctor said, let him be at home with you, just in a matter of few days. What will he achieve by putting him here? So my sister brought my father home, and naturally she was very depressed. She was the eldest and she herself was not a breadwinner yet. So that day afternoon when she went to the college, there was one classmate of hers who is now Dr. Purnima Shenoy, a very, very nice person. She said, "You look so depressed today, what happened?" And my sister narrated all this and said, "I don't know how we are going to manage. I have not even finished my studies and my youngest brother is in 5th standard. I don't know if father also goes away, we don't have a mother who will take care of us." And that person was a Swami's devotee. So she said, "Why don't you come with me? I'll take you to a place where there is a person called Sai Baba. And he cures such diseases." So my sister went to Whitefield, had her first darshan of Swami. And she came back home. In those days, girls and ladies generally would not go out and come back late, alone. So when she came a little late, my father was worried and asked her, "What happened? Why did you come late?" And my sister said, "Appa, I went to see somebody by name Sathya Sai Baba. He is God." She was convinced in the first darshan itself, "He is God. He will cure you, you come." My father said, "Podi podi, na idella nambardilla." A typical response. "Illa na namba maten. I don't believe all this. I have worshipped God throughout my life. I have been sincere, I have been honest, I have not cheated anybody. So if that God does not protect me, this new God, how can he protect me?" So that was his argument. Sister tried her best, father won't come. But when God decides to enter your life, he decides to enter, that's all. You don't have a say. When he wants to save you, he has decided to save you. He does not save you because you have done so much merit, you have done this, you have done tapas. No. Pure compassion. He is Sandha Karuna. Sarvajna Sandha Karuna. He enters your life and changes it forever. So 3 days later, my father got a letter from the office. He was working in a central government office and he had been absent for 6 months because of the operations. So they sent a letter saying that if you want your next salary check, come and present yourself physically. They have a rule in central government, it seems, that you must come and physically show yourself. So with all the pain, he went to the office. He was lying down and the director came, sent for him and asked, "How did you come?" "Sir, I came by bus." In those days, the bus service in Bangalore was the worst. So it would take a long time to go anywhere. And so the director said, "Okay, Tyagarajan, there is one person who has come from abroad, who is some professor. He wants to see somebody called Sai Baba. I don't know about Bangalore because I am from Delhi. Why don't you take him with you? You know Bangalore. Show him Sai Baba. And on the way back, the office car can drop you." Father agreed. 2 reasons. The person who is telling is a director, you can't refuse. Second thing, it's a car drop at home, less pain. So he said, okay. They didn't know anything about Swami. They didn't know anything about Brindavan, darshan time, nothing. So they landed up in Brindavan just when Swami was returning after darshan. My father saw Swami's back turned towards him and he felt very, very sad. Even though he had told, no, I don't believe all this, somewhere in the corner of the heart, there was this feeling that maybe he can save me. And when he saw him turning the back, he said, okay, no hope at all. But this person, this foreigner, said, it's so peaceful here, let us sit down for some time and go. We have come so far. So they sat down in that place, and 10 minutes later, So the inner gates opened and suddenly Swami came out. In those days, if Swami goes inside in the morning, Swami would not come back till evening. This Swami himself told when I was one day speaking. He told, Adikuda Cheppu, he said, tell that also. When Swami used to go in the morning after darshan, in the evening only he'll come back. Swami came at that time and he was walking very fast. When he was about 10 feet away from my father, he was speaking something. And my father looked at the professor because, I am not a devotee, he is a devotee. See, we think that we can simply put a label like that. I am a devotee, somebody is not a devotee and all. What do we know of devotion to call ourselves a devotee or not a devotee? God's standards are different. But Swami was speaking in Kannada and he was a foreigner. And this very surprising thing because in our family, right till the end, Swami used to speak to my father only in Kannada. He used to speak to my sister only in Tamil. And he used to speak to me only in Telugu. Throughout. I don't know why it was like that. And Swami was saying, why did you have 25 operations? The first sentence. The 25 caught my father's because he has gone through 25 operations, like Sachin Tendulkar's century, like that it is. So 25 operations. And why did you have 25 operations? The doctor is saying you will die. You will not die. Okay? Your cancer is cancelled. Swami created vibhuti, gave it to him and said, eat it. Father ate it. And that was over. And so my father lived on, not for a few days, not for a few months, not for a year. He lived for 39 long years. I mentioned this to my relative and I said, we have known of people who give gifts. If somebody gives you a bouquet, you say thanks. Somebody gives you something else, you say thanks. What do you tell somebody who gives you life? Can you simply say thanks? Can you and I give life to anybody? If you don't take people's life, it's a great achievement. So, this is how it happened. A small aside to this. One of the days when I was narrating this, Swami told me, hey, I finished this and sat down. Swami said, get up, get up. Most important point you left out, he said. What is it, Swami? Cheppu, he said. Tell. The doctor who told your father will die, he died. And the doctor was not even 55 or 60. He had passed away much before my father. And Swami said, Chudu, when you have Swami's grace, anything is possible. So one day, many occasions, I've had a wonderful opportunity of narrating this in front of Swami. See, after all, how do you thank someone who has given you life? A million times if you do pranam to him also, you worship him with flowers, with gold flowers, with your tears, it's not enough. So one day when I was talking about this, Swami called me and said, Nee Purti Jivita Charitam Cheppu. Tell your entire story, he said. So I narrated this incident and I said, therefore, we came to Swami in 1968. Swami said, wrong. Wrong, he said. 1963. By that time, I had become wise. You never correct Swami, right? Because you don't inform the all-knowing. So I kept quiet. Afterwards, after the speech, Swami was sitting and I was alone with Swami. Then I said, Swami, my father had cancer in 1968 and Swami cured him of cancer. That is how we came to Swami. So it was 1968, I think, Swami, we came. Ledura, even though your father came to me in 1968, you came to me in 1963, he said. It was very strange to me. Then he said, "You remember the day your mother died?" Now, among the various memories that I have of my mother, that is one day I remember very clearly. My mother had passed away. I was 4.5 years. They had kept the body in my aunt's house, my father's youngest sister's house. And just before they were taking the body, my cousin, who was just 2 years older than me, came and told me, "Hey, you know something, they are taking your mother in procession." I felt very happy. See, this temple procession and all I had seen. And it's always full of festivity. Okay, so I said, "Oh, wow, wonderful." Then he said, "But they will not bring her back." So I was very upset, very agitated, created a lot of noise there. So they took me across the street to my mother's cousin's house. And she was Swami's devotee. As soon as I entered the house, there was Swami's photo. So, Swami's figure is so beautiful that you automatically get attracted. Your eyes automatically get attracted to him. So I asked her, "Yaar in the mami?" I asked. So she said, "Idu mami illappa, idu Swami." "Idu mami illappa, idu Swami. Neeyu vendiko unna kaapathuvar." Swami narrated this and said, "From that moment, I have taken over your life." So it is not 1968, 1963. Now, after hearing this, can you believe that this is just a photo? Not a photo. It will be the biggest mistake. He is there. A number of times it has happened to me that I would go and pray to Swami something, and when I go, Swami would answer that same thing what I prayed here, Swami would give me the answer. Many times it has happened. Or you just think of something sitting there, Swami would answer that straight away. He would come and ask. Once what happened was, I was sitting in Prashanti Nilayam. In the bhajan hall, I was sitting in the front row like this, and Swami had taken a group for interview. When he had taken that group, all the boys normally go for breakfast after that. Swami used to come at 7. And I said, "Hey, this front row is empty, I should be here. I shouldn't miss this chance." And next to me, one boy had kept a book, Gospel of Sri Ramakrishna. And I was going through that book. In that, Vivekananda, Narendra comes to Ramakrishna and says, "See, I have this problem at home, so you must go to mother and pray that she takes care of me and my family." "Yeah, why should I take care of you? You go and tell." See, very often we think that we have to go through Swami through somebody else. That's a very big mistake. We don't have to go to anyone. There's a heart-to-heart connection for everybody. Everybody is close to Swami. Nobody is far away from Swami. Everybody is close. So he said, "Why should I tell? You go and talk to her." So Narendra went inside and, "Mother, please give me bliss and please give me peace." He came out. Ramakrishna asked, "Did you tell mother?" "Oh, I forgot." Go again." So he went again prayed for the same thing, came out. So as I was reading this incident, I said, what a beautiful thought. See, when you see God, you forget everything else. Forgetting everything else. So I closed the book and kept it, and I was lost in my thoughts. I was thinking, suppose Swami now comes into the bhajan hall and talks to me. What will I ask him? What will I ask him? See how foolish the human mind is. Immediately I thought, see, father was having some problem. Okay, I must ask Swami about it. Sister had an accident just a few days before that. I must ask Swami about that. Then I corrected myself. Oh my God, just now I read Narendranath's story. He went in front of the idol and prayed like this. The living God is coming and standing in front of you, and you are asking for all such silly things. So foolish. No. I should ask Swami about Swami. Why is it that you have become so thin, Swami? Why are you not eating? Okay. All the time, Swami is thinking of you and me. He never thinks about himself. Should we not be thinking about him? I was thinking like this. The interview room door opened. Swami came and stood there as everybody went. And he turned and saw me, walked up straight to me, stood in front of me and said, Ravi, in Yamana Taggipoinana, have I reduced? Very. Then with tears I said, Swami, that's what I wanted to ask you, Swami. Why have you reduced so much? Why are you not eating properly? I am fine. 108 pounds. Always 108 pounds. Okay. So, there is nothing that he doesn't know. If he doesn't show it, it is because he says the nature of God is like that. God knows everything, but he doesn't show. We don't know anything, we show off. That is the difference. Many instances like this. Chandan sir mentioned that Swami looked after me like a mother. Very true. In fact, I remember one particular instance. There was a boy who had joined on the first day in the hostel. And this boy, it was on the 31st of May. The whole hall was full inside a mesh hall. And bhajans were going on. After the bhajan, Swami sent for all of us to Thai. So we all went and sat. When we sat down, Swami got up from the jula and he went on looking for somebody in that crowd. He walked a little and searched and suddenly spotted one boy and said, that boy, get up. Come, sit here. I had a place near Swami. Okay. So I felt how lucky this boy is. First day, Swami searches for him, calls him and makes him sit in the front. Because it's not easy to sit in the front. In our hostel, there used to be always a race. To sit in the front, it's called 1.1. Okay. So, the warden at that time had a tough time. These boys would run and fall down and all kinds of things would happen. So he said, hey boys, these lines for Thai will start in the afternoon. Afternoon itself, you will stand in lines. Then you can pick up the slips, and then based on that, we'll allow you in the evening. And he thought he was very clever. He said, this line will be formed as soon as the lunch bell goes and everybody finishes lunch. You can finish your lunch and run and stand in the terrace. And to his surprise, he found that the lunch Brahmarpanam bell rang, and there were some boys who were standing. And they had already taken the chapati, torn it into pieces. Okay, so it was ready. They could just stuff it and run. And then he noticed that there were other boys who were not even eating. As soon as that bell rang, they were standing in line. In the evening, Swami called the warden and said, hey, buddhi ledu. Swami said, no brains. See, my boys are not eating food at all. What are you doing? Allow them. So, running to the mandir was always a wonderful thing. And so getting this place in the front was a fantastic experience. So I said, wow, look at this boy. Swami searches for him and brings him. First question Swami asked that boy. First day, okay, that morning I had admitted this boy. Imagine I had spoken to him for 15 minutes, but I don't know anything about the boy. I don't even remember his name. Okay, that is human being. Okay, see how God acts. Swami looks at that boy and says, hey boy, why were you crying? Kyun rota hai? Swami asked. This boy was sitting in a crowd of maybe 8 to 10,000 people. Swami has noticed one boy in that crowd crying. And what was this boy's answer? More tears. He started crying loudly. Swami didn't wait for him to answer. Swami is telling us, this boy does not have a mother. And his father is a drunkard. When he was sitting in bhajan, he was thinking, who will take care of my sister today onwards? And he started crying. Isn't it? Swami asked. The boy nodded. Then Swami created a ring, gave it to him and said, smile. So that boy smiled. Swami said, don't worry. This Sai Mata is there. I will take care of your sister. When is your father coming here? Swami, father has gone only today. He may come after 3 months. No, he is coming this Saturday. See, when Swami says you are there on Saturday, you are there on Saturday. You don't know how your legs move. All right? So, Saturday morning, suddenly somebody comes and tells this boy, hey, your father has come. What Swami told this boy was, Saturday your father will come. I will call him for interview, give him nicely and correct him. So, Saturday, this boy, somebody comes and tells him his father has come. So he's sitting there and he says, Father, how did you come? He says, I don't know. See, I went to Calicut. I just touched the place and somehow I felt very sad not seeing you. I turned and came back. Then this boy says, don't worry, it was not your decision. It was Swami's decision. Swami told me you are coming on Saturday. And then Swami called him for interview, corrected him, and a beautiful family, became a beautiful family. I must tell you a sequel to this. 15 years later, this boy comes to Prashanthi Nilayam. He is working in the Gulf. He is going to get married. And he's come. He has got 1 day leave. He rushes to Prashanthi Nilayam, 1 darshan chance. He wants to give this invitation to Swami. And that day morning, Swami did not come for darshan. So, I was coming out of Bhajan hall, I saw this boy, then I asked him, hey, what happened, how come? Then he said, sir, I came from Gulf and this is what, my marriage is there 10 days later and this is the invitation card, all that he said. And I wanted to give it to Swami, sir. Then I said, I know you must be feeling bad, no? He said, no, sir, I'm not feeling bad. Sir, Swami is there with me all the time. I don't have to feel bad, sir. He is not somewhere else. In fact, he started narrating his experiences to me. So we are sitting there outside the Bhajan hall where old students sit. And the time goes, 9:30 over, 10:30 over, 11 o'clock. Suddenly, almost all the Sevadals have gone off. There are a few Sevadals near the gates. Suddenly, there's a movement and Swami's car comes out. Swami comes straight to where we are sitting, 4 of us, opens the window, asks for that boy's invitation card, takes it, goes back to Yajur Mandir. And Swami says, I'll take care of you like a mother. That is what he does. Nothing less than a mother. In fact, when we say Swami's love is that of 1,000 mothers, 1,000 is just a number we know. Because 1,000 is not a measure at all. When he says Sahasra Sirisha Purushaha, does that mean God has 1,000 heads? He has thousands of heads. Because 1,000 is a big number, we say 1,000 heads. But it is something like infinite. He has infinite heads. So like that, Swami's love is that of a infinite. Okay. So this boy, that day Swami gave him a ring. And as he was sitting, Swami said, you don't worry. I will take care of you like a mother. And then he turns to me and said, ask Ravi. I have taken care of him like a mother. Swami had taken care of me like a mother for 25 years by that time. And therefore I was so thrilled. I mean, does Swami need any proof from us? He's taking care of us like a mother. But how loving, how kind, how sweet, how merciful. Every single thing is like this. There is no time I ever felt that, oh my God, how will I contact Swami? Many people ask me this question. How do you feel now? After Baba, what? I said, what after Baba? After Baba, there's no world at all. The whole world exists only as long as Brahman is there. There is nothing like after Baba. Swami is always there. Swami was always there. Swami will always continue to be there. He is God. If he is not there, you and I are not there. It is like saying that if you have a silver tumbler and remove the silver, what will happen? Nothing will happen. There will be no tumbler. From a silver tumbler, you remove silver, nothing is there. So, many times I've had experiences, unbelievable experiences. You just shed one tear and he'll come running to you. Okay, I think I will go chronologically and see whatever I can narrate in the next few minutes. Everyone has what they call as a defining moment in your life. See, there's one moment when you see that your life has completely changed. Which is that defining moment in my life? I can remember one beautiful moment in my life. Many defining moments. This was one beautiful moment I remember very vividly. I was studying in a school which was 1 century old. In fact, when I was admitted there, the headmaster knew our entire family. My uncles had all studied there. My father had studied there, and that is how that school got selected. So I went to that school. That school had a very beautiful distinction. You have nowadays, you say, future-ready schools, they say, no? You go there, smart class, all kinds of things. This school had a very unique speciality. And that was, you had 3 cinema theaters in front. 3 cinema theaters. And I had in my class some boys whom we used to call research scholars. Because they had stayed in 8th standard for 4 years, 5 years. They were doing research in 8th standard. March, September. They were the ones who were keeping the examination department running by paying fees. So these fellows had a lot of advice for us. He said, if you want to learn anything, look at those fellows. If you want to learn anything, you should learn it there. What will you learn sitting in the classroom? And we took their advice very seriously. Peer pressure, no? So they said, look, if you want to learn Hindi, Hindi movie. If you want to learn English, English movie. So simple. If you want to learn Kannada, Kannada movie. So they told like that. So I took their words very seriously. In our classrooms, we had huge windows. There were no grills like that. We used to just give attendance and jump out of the class and run. Can't be late. You can be late to class, but movie theater. And we had like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. That is how we measured. That's how we count the days. We had a different method. You'd say, hey, this film was on that day. Okay, this film was on that day. Oh, which day did the sir give assignment? That day on which we went to this film. No, like that. So, to make sure that we did not miss out, because 7 days in a week, 6 days if we go to movie, 7th day what will happen? Learning stops, no? So on Saturday, morning and evening show, we used to go like that. Now all this while I had just joined Balvikas. So at home, Vibhuti and all that. And in the class, this kind of activity. My father was very busy because he had cancer, and he found that many juniors had been promoted over him. So he was working very hard. So he didn't have that much time to take care of me. He would ask me, why are you late from school? Special class, I used to say. It's not ordinary class, no, special class. So I was being very truthful. So one Sunday, we went to Brindavan. And Swami called my father and myself for an interview. Now, many people have told me, interview is the greatest thing that can happen to you. Swami gives you interview, he'll tell you everything about you. So when he called me for interview, I was scared. He tells you everything about you, what happens? So, I was wondering what will happen. But at the same time, Swami has called you for interview means everyone will be, got an interview, that kind of a thing. See, one side this, one side that. So we went inside. And Swami finished, darshan came. I was the first in the line. So Swami patted me like that. Good boy, he said. Oh, that was the ultimate moment. You might think that that was the defining moment. I thought, immediately the thought which arose in my mind was, even Swami does not know. That was the thought. Good boy. And I looked as good as I can. And as soon as I thought like this, the next question my Swami asked my father was, where are the other Samiti members? Swami, they are sitting in the Sairam shed. Go and call them. So father was sent off. I don't know to this day whether because of my foolishness all those people got interview. I don't know. But Swami sent him there. Then he turned to me and said, good boy. And then he said, good boy? So from full stop, it became question mark. Good boy? He asked. I said, yes, Swami, good boy. Because Swami has said I am good boy. See, that is this thing. So you are using Swami's word itself and you are thinking Swami doesn't know, so he is still good boy. So I said, then Swami said, where were you yesterday? I said, Swami, yesterday is Saturday, so I would have been in class. Simple answer, straightforward answer. Swami said, yes, correct. Yesterday was Saturday. You should have been in the class, but where were you? I realized dangerous questions. Okay. So I kept quiet. Swami said, shall I tell you? Yesterday, you were in Ajanta Theatre. Last but one row. He named the classmates on both sides. You are watching Katti Patang, Asha Parekh, Rajesh Khanna. Any more information? What information? That time my father is coming. And I thought, my God, no more information needed. All this information technology had not started that time. So Swami, as soon as my father came, my father was very strict. Okay. In those days, they used to say, spare the rod and spoil the child. So my father believed in that. And therefore I thought, father is going to come, Swami is going to reveal his omniscience, and then this will be a red letter day for me. Okay. Father came. Swami again patted me and said, good boy. And told my father, good boy, I am telling him to have good company. At that moment, I asked myself, is there somebody in the world who can be so omniscient, he knows every single thing that you do, but he will not let you down in front of others? That was the defining moment. Then I said, I will worship him as God throughout my life. Till the last breath, I am going to serve him. He is my God. I don't know about Rama, I don't know about Krishna. I have not seen them. But here is a God whom I know. And this God I am going to worship. And that is how, from that day, Swami became my God. And Swami continues to be my God. He will be the God I will adore. He will be the God I will worship. He will be the God for whom I will live every moment of my life. Somebody said, Shakespeare said, to be or not to be is the question. Swami corrected him and said, Ledu, ledu. How to be and how not to be. It is not to be or not to be. It is how to be and how not to be. So with Swami, the information is not used like nowadays information is used in the news. We all know. Okay? They do all kinds of collecting information, half-baked information and put. But with Swami, it was transformation. Transformation. No information. He is not interested in information. He uses everything for transformation, for our own uplift. What is the difference between information and transformation? Swami said, Nowadays, everybody goes and says, who are you? Who are you? You like to know about everybody. Who are you? I'm so-and-so. Who are you? I'm so-and-so. He says, this is information. What is transformation? You ask, who am I? Who am I? When you start your journey inward, it becomes transformation. When you start your journey inward, then you become a useful instrument to society. As long as you're trying to find out who are you, you are useless for society. You think you are important and you must know. Whereas when you go inside, you realize that there is God and you are nobody. So with Swami, transformation is what occurs. I have seen this happen in a number of boys. I will narrate one more incident. There was a boy by name Prashant. I was mentioning this to somebody in the morning today. This boy used to always come and sit in the front in Parayanam sessions. Very devoted boy. And after joining a company, after almost 5 to 7 years, one day he just dropped in and said, sir, I came to Brindavan. I just got 2 hours from my work in Bangalore. I thought I must come to this place, this paradise, spend 2 hours and go. And as we were sitting, he suddenly said something. He said, sir, you know something? This might never have happened, sir, he said. I said, what do you mean? Sir, I might not have joined this college at all. I said, but the fact is you joined the college. Yes, sir, there's a story behind it. What is the story? Sir, now I can tell you, because I was no longer his teacher or warden, I can tell you now. Sir, on the first day I joined the college, a classmate of mine who had joined the same day and myself, we went outside Brindavan and smoked. We are used to smoking. We smoked. And quietly we came back inside. And somebody told us the warden is giving a talk. So we all went and sat. And the warden said, nobody should go out of Brindavan for any reason. Till your vacations begin, you are inside the campus only. So the next evening, the second boy comes to him and says, hey, are you coming for smoking? So this fellow says, are you going for smoking? That fellow says, no. I thought of going if you come, but actually, I don't want to go because warden announced yesterday, nobody should go outside. So I want to stop smoking. Why don't you also stop smoking? Then this fellow says, they were standing next to Swami's photo, let him tell no, I will stop. Typical teenager response. Let him tell no, I will stop. He goes and sits for darshan. One senior boy, I think it must be one of the altar boys, comes to him and says, brother, what's your admission number? Shows the admission number. Oh, okay, today your chance to do aarti. So he's come and sit in the front. So he's sitting in the front and Swami comes, bhajan is over. This boy goes up with the aarti plate. Swami takes the matchbox, lights the aarti and gives it back to him and says, and this fellow said, sir, for a few minutes my hand just froze. He didn't know what was happening. He had told, let him tell no, I will stop. And Swami has told, don't smoke. So he said, I didn't know how to turn the aarti. I started going anti-clockwise. And Swami stopped it and said, like this. I knew, I was sitting in the crowd. I knew this had happened, but I thought it's a new boy. So he doesn't know. He said, that is the defining moment in my life. So every one of us has a defining moment. Swami comes into your life in some way. He can come, he can make a break in the wall, enter it, and then completely change your life. Okay. There are many, many instances I've had in my life, but I will narrate to you as it comes because I think that's how Swami would like it. Okay. I had finished my graduation in Brindavan. The results had come. And suddenly the Bangalore University announced, within 1 week you must apply for the master's course. Within 1 week. And at that time there was a summer course in Brindavan. 1,000 students were there on the campus. 1,000 students. How do you approach Swami? Swami is so busy because lectures throughout the day. Swami is attending the lectures. Swami is giving one lecture. Swami comes to the dining hall. Swami comes to the hall, the auditorium. All the time Swami is busy. Such big guests like TMP Mahadevan, PK Sundaram. Very big shots. Swami is talking to all of them. So I was standing there thinking, 1 week, Swami, 1,000 students in the campus. I am one among these 1,000. How do I contact you? How do I ask you? Means even if you contact, you can give a letter to Swami. How can you stand there and explain to Swami? There is no time. So I was standing there was a staircase leading to Swami's room. Just stood there and I was crying, thinking, Swami, I don't want to do anything. After this, you should choose for me. I knew it was a very irrational and very childlike prayer. But it doesn't matter with Swami, he's not going to be bothered about any prayer that you make as long as it's sincere. The moment I started crying, suddenly somebody comes and taps me on the back. There's an old devotee by name Raja Reddy. People who are old devotees here will know. He used to be the Satyajit of those days. So this gentleman comes, he pats me and says, excuse me, please help me carry these baskets upstairs. Some baskets of apples are there and there are 3, 4. So he says, let us take it up. Okay. So he lifts one basket, I lift one basket and we are going. He walks upstairs. He walks straight into Swami's dining hall. I walk and I find Swami sitting there. Can you imagine? Swami, Dr. Bhagavantam. Both of them are sitting there. I'm so thrilled that I don't know, all my thoughts become blank. That's why the scriptures say, Yato vacho nivattante aprapya manasasaha. From where the word and the mind returns, foiled in its attempt to describe. When you are face to face with God, your mind becomes silent. A mind which troubles you all the time, asking for this and that and that and this. You stand in front of Swami, blank. Okay. So I'm standing there, I kept the basket. I'm so thrilled. You get a darshan of Swami. Every darshan is so precious, right? So, standing there. And then, I'm slowly backing out. Your job is only to keep the basket. You can't put camp there. So I'm coming out. Swami says, hey Ravi. So I stop. Emi samacharam, he asks. What is the news? That is how Swami used to start the discussion, I'm blank, okay? I'm not able to say anything. Then Swami is telling Bhagavantam, this boy, when he was 4.5 years, okay, he came to me. Okay? He came in half pants, not even half pants. Swami says half knicker. And see today how he has grown. And he's studying in Swami's college. He got a university rank. He is this, he is that. And Ravi, now what are you going to do? See that, how beautiful it is. You want to ask him, but he wants to grant that blessing. So he has decided, he's asking, so what are you going to do? Swami, that's what I wanted to ask you. Na mata vinnu, he says, listen to me. You don't decide, I will decide. Yo Swami, that's what I want. Manchidi, Bangaru, nenu cheptanu. So, after a week, Swami goes to Patti. I go to Patti, he calls me for an interview. And he calls me for an interview. And he introduces me to so many people. And again the same question. Ravi, nu em chestavu ippudu? He asks. What will you do? Swami, whatever you tell Swami. Bangaru, ఏ సబ్జెక్ట్లో తక్కువ మార్క్ వచ్చింది? He says. In which subject you got minimum marks? Normally, how do we ask when somebody says, I want to do a course, which subject you got more marks? But Swami asked, which subject you got less marks? I say, Swami, chemistry. Minimum marks in chemistry, Swami. ఎంత వచ్చింది? స్వామి 82 వచ్చింది స్వామి. కెమిస్ట్రీ చేయి, డూ కెమిస్ట్రీ. ఐఎమ్ లుకింగ్ స్టండ్ అట్ స్వామి. స్వామి కెమిస్ట్రీ? ఓన్లీ కెమిస్ట్రీ. స్వామి, కెన్ ఐ అప్లై ఫర్ ఫిజిక్స్, మ్యాథ్స్? అప్లై చేస్తే బయట పంపిస్తాను. He has decided for me it should be chemistry. At that time I didn't know my future. He knew. You see, that's the beauty. You apply only for chemistry, don't even apply for physics and maths. I was sure I will not get a seat in chemistry. But he has decided to give me a seat in a different way. He said, nothing doing, only chemistry. And so I chose chemistry. Okay, there is a big story before this, but I have just 1 minute. And so I will end with this. You can continue? Wow. How much time? 5 minutes? Okay. I got a lease of a few more minutes. Okay. When I was doing my PUC, pre-university course, in my first year in Brindavan, one of the toughest subjects for me was mathematics. And I was very scared of mathematics. We had a professor, a senior professor, his name was Professor Ranganayaklu. He tried his best, but nothing went inside. And so the maths exam came. And the beautiful tradition those days, in the hostel there were 60 boys. Okay? Less than the number of people in this hall. Okay? 60 boys. And so we used to walk up to Swami's room. In our times, every day we could just walk up to Swami's room anytime, upstairs. Just walk up any time of the day. And we used to be there all the time. Oh, thanks. So we used to be there all the time upstairs. I was describing to somebody that in those days Swami used to spend 9 months of the year in Brindavan, and we used to spend about 10 hours a day with Swami. When Swami comes down, we'll come down. When Swami comes for darshan, he'll come to hostel, spend 1 hour there. When he goes back, the only time interview Swami used to go, he used to be in class. In between class, see, the class was just next to the mandir. And so the bell rings and the teacher is a little late, we'll go upstairs. I remember one occasion, we went upstairs and Swami suddenly looked at us and said, hey boys, why did you come? Class leda? Yes, Swami, class is there. Principal cheptan. The principal was there next to him. Swami said, hey Narendra, your class leda? Undi Swami, na class. My class, Swami. Pondi, he said. In fact, many occasions we would go up and prayer bell would ring. It was a day scholars also were there from the villages. So we would be sitting and Swami would talk about Radha Bhakti or Gopika's devotion, something very, very nice. And the bell will be heard. We will pretend we are not heard the bell. And Swami will say, hey, prayer. I say, Swami, whether we pray there or here, same God knows, Swami, we'll pray here only. And Swami said, Cheppandi, he used to say. So we used to pray in front of Swami. See, when you pray in front of a stone idol, we don't know whether it receives your prayer, whether it listens or not. When you pray in front of Swami, little upper shruti is there, he'll make a face. He'll frown, right? Bhajan boys know this very well. Okay. So it was those days and maths exam day. So I went upstairs and Swami is banging somebody. The caretaker of the ashram, Mr. Ram Brahmam, very nice gentleman, thorough gentleman. And Swami is blasting him, and suddenly Swami looked at me. I just entered. He looked at me and he included me in the banging. Nu cheppu, he said. You tell. how much money do you pay the dhobi? Okay. Many people think that God means he'll talk only spirituality, okay, jnanavastha and turyavastha and things like that. But this God would talk about mundane things because he has to come to our level. See, it's a turyavastha means where will we be? He has to pick us up and take us there. So Swami asked me, "Nu cheppu. Dhobi ki enta dabbu istunnau? How much money are you giving the dhobi?" That time, it was some 20 paise or something. Then Swami asked me, "Terracotta shirt ekku istunnava? Cotton shirt ki istunnava? Are you giving more for terracotta clothes or cotton?" So I said, "Terracotta, Swami." Swami said, "What is all this studies done to you? Common sense must be now. Common sense you forgot. Terracotta is easier to wash and iron. Should pay less for that." And then he said, "How much money do you get from home?" Now in those days, 100 rupees I used to get from home. I told Swami, 100 rupees. 100 rupees. There was such a shock on Swami's face. 100 rupees. So he said, "Em chestunnao? What do you do with 100 rupees? Come on, cheppu." Now, hostel mess bill for the whole month was only 65 rupees. And for years and years and years, Warden was trying to increase it to 70 rupees. Whenever he goes and tells Swami, said, "Urkondu, 65 chal. 65 you manage." And one day, finally, after many attempts, the Warden succeeded. And he came very happily, called all of us for a meeting. And the boy was arranging the mic. Suddenly somebody came running, "Sir, Swami is calling you." And he goes back. Swami said, "Chudu Sudarshan, Repu Ugadi. Tomorrow is Ugadi. Why do you want to give our boys this kind of a New Year gift? Increasing the mess bill. 65. So it continued at 65 for many more years. And so I told Swami, 65. 65. 35 rupees em cheptunnavu. Cheppu. So I tried various things. Swami haircut. Okay, 150. Swami soap. Okay, 1 rupee. Those just things were cheaper. I tried so many things. I'm not good in mathematics, not good in accounts also. Not matching. Then Swami banged me left and right. He scolded me. He said, "See, your father, after his cancer, is struggling so much in office. Neeku responsibility ne ledu. You simply take money and waste money." As Swami is scolding me like this, exam bell rang there. We are hearing the bell. Then Swami asked me, "Neeku exam unda?" Yes. "Do you have exam today?" You know, nowadays an ad comes. It is not a car, it's a car. Okay, like that. It was not an exam for me. It's an exam. So I told Swami, "Maths exam. I mean, can't get worse than this." And Swami said, "Aithe oka pani che. Breakfast chesava? Did you have breakfast?" "No, Swami. Hostel ki poi breakfast chesesi exam po. Go to the hostel, have your breakfast and go to exam." And by the time I'd realized whatever Swami says, just do. Karishye vachanam tava. Whatever he says, don't use your brain, your mind, because very imperfect instrument when it comes to God. So I said, "Okay, Swami." Went, had a hearty breakfast and went for exam hall. Outside the exam hall, the teacher is waiting. "Hey, Ravi Kumar, what happened? What happened?" 20 minutes over. He thought before exam started itself, I had given up. "What happened? What happened?" "Sir, big story, sir. I'll tell you afterwards." He said, Okay, go and write. I went inside and I got the question paper. When I looked at the question paper, easiest question paper. We had 13 theorems, 10 theorems have come that year. And theorems easy, you can mug up and write. So I thought, wow, now the question is, should I get 100 marks or 120 marks? Like that. So I started writing. As I was writing, suddenly the first theorem, some substitution I forgot. And math students know this. One substitution you forget, gone. So after 45 minutes, one theorem is half-baked. So I went to next question. But mind is there with the first question. So second question, third question, all. By the time I knew anything, bell has rung, examiners, the invigilators asking, question paper, like that. So he's coming. So I gave my paper. I came out fully depressed. And the teacher is waiting outside. See, our maths teacher is waiting outside. As soon as he came, Ravi Kumar, how did you write your exam? How did you? I said, this can happen only in Swami's college. No examiner, no teacher will wait for 3 hours just to ask you how you have done your paper. I thought like this, but the teacher is telling me, because if you pass, you'll get 100% result. That is why he waited. Okay. So then I sat with him and discussed the whole paper. Sir, I wrote this much here. When you look at the paper, full of fractured pieces of various theorems are there. Nothing complete. So then the teacher told me, sir, will I pass? He wiped his sweat like this. And he said, if it's a good day and the examiner has not fought with his wife, his children have not troubled him, he might give you 35 marks. Those days, 35 marks used to be the pass mark. I was shocked. 35 is such a brink. Okay? So I thought, gone. At that time, there was a drama which I had enacted in. And so Swami took me to Bombay with him. After the drama, we went on a bus ride with Swami. Swami showed us whole Bombay. Okay? And as Swami was getting down, Swami looked at me and said, "No, Patti kara," he said. "You come to Patti." So I went to Patti. And those days, this main altar was getting ready. The main altar which is on the western side. So we had bhajans on the eastern side. And I used to be one of the bhajan singers. Past glory. But we all sang bhajans. And the bhajans were so horrible, Swami called us upstairs. Because ordinary blasting won't do. It has to be extraordinary blasting. Called us upstairs to his room and he said, if you sing bhajans like this, I'll stop bhajans. So, after all this is over, everybody has come down. I am asking Swami, my grandfather is asking when Swami will perform Upanayanam for me. When I was a small boy, Swami called me for the interview and said, I will perform your Upanayanam. In my house, because I was the eldest son, all the other Upanayanams had got stopped. So my grandfather said, ask Swami when you get a chance. So Swami is asking. Sayankalam Cheptan, Swami said. And evening, Swami called me for an interview. And then he asked me, hey Ravi, Cheppu, nikem kavali Cheppu. Ask me what you want. I'm sure everybody in this audience would have been very wise. They would ask for some mukti or bhakti or shakti or whatever. For me, it was very simple. I said, Swami, I'm match the pass kavali Swami. Because that was running in my mind. See, all the time, I've never failed in my life officially. Never failed. I think till that time, 8th standard and all, no marks card used to be given. The examiner just looked at my face and said, okay, this fellow can go. So like that, I must have passed, I think. So Swami said, Adai poindira. That is over. Okay. So then I said, Swami, I don't want anything. If ultimate prayer it is, I must pass in maths. If I pass in maths, there is nothing, no desire at all in life. Then Swami said, he just laughed at me and he sent me out. I came out. The results came 1 month later. Now please remember this was not our university. We were in the pre-university of board of Karnataka state. Okay. there would be something like, in those days itself, 40 to 50,000 students writing the exam. Different centers, and it will go to some central point. There the examiners would correct and all that. And results have come. The principal gives all the marks card to Swami. And Swami looks at the marks card, reads out the name and gives it to us. We get namaskar. Ravi Kumar, Swami said. I went, Tisko, he said. So I looked, it's written passed. So I was stunned. And Swami went to the next name, then he said, hey, maths mark chudu, he said. And I said, Swami, 53 ochindi, Swami. Swami said, 53 etlara vastundi? No 35 kada astavu kada? You wrote for 35, how will you get 53? I just shed tears, and Swami said, Nenu marchanu. I turned it. From now on, study maths properly. And you won't believe it, when I chose my BSc, there was a lot of discussion in the house. You know, one uncle said that you must do CA. CA is the in thing those days. My father it was very simple. He said, you should do MBBS. Why should I do MBBS? He said, sister's books are there. I will get in ex-serviceman quota, so you should do MBBS. But by the time I had already, you can say, fallen in love with Swami, I wanted to be only with Swami. I didn't want to go anywhere. So I said, can I stay for some more time in Swami's college? Can I do what Swami tells me? They all said, yes. If Swami tells you something, go ahead. So I said, okay. Now the question was, I went to Ooty. Ooty summer course was on. Swami had selected me. And in Ooty summer course, as I was sitting there, something went wrong during the course. You know, Swami is very particular that boys should not talk too much. Students. He expects students to talk very, very less. He likes boys who talk less. So one day Swami found some boys chit-chatting, and so he stopped talking to all of us. Ooty summer course. Closely, Swami is sitting like that. He's not talking to us at all. He is giving a lot of chances to everybody else. We are sitting there, not looking at us also. I was sitting in the bhajan group in the front, and there was one person. So 2 more minutes. There was one person by name Sohan Lal. He was the Delhi state president. He was a person who was very short, shorter than me. He was talking and he said, how lucky you boys are. See, Swami decides everything in your future. And for me, the irony was, Swami is not even looking at my face, and now how will Swami decide? How can I ask Swami? And so I laughed. Like that I laughed. Swami is sitting, he looked at me like that. When Swami looks into your eyes, Shiva, Rudram it is. So I got very scared. I quietly went to the hostel, packed all my luggage, because Warden is going to come and tell me to go by the earliest bus. I knew it's going to happen. After some time, the Warden comes. He looks at all of us. Boys, are you happy? Is the food good? Swami is asking, how is this? How is that? And he went off. I said, oh, saved. Today nothing has happened. Then that day night, Swami came in my dream. And I'm asking Swami, Swami, what should I do next? Swami is telling, Chudu Ravi, Edi cheste MSc cheyoscho, adi chey. Very clear. Whatever will help you to do MSc later, you do. So CA is out, MBBS is out. Okay, so I should do BSc. Now in this BSc also, what to choose? Should I choose biosciences or should I choose mathematics? You know, biosciences, I had one problem. In the 12th standard, we had dissections. You cut a cockroach, you cut a frog and all that. Okay. Now, whenever I cut a frog for circulatory system, heart will be missing. When it's cut for neurological system, brain will be missing. So I thought it's okay, frog doesn't complain. Human beings, you become a doctor, do something like this, you'll be in jail. So I was scared of taking bioscience. On the other side, MPC means mathematics. Once God has saved you, given you a boon and saved you, how many more times he'll come and say, okay, today I passed you? How many times? So mathematics scary for me. So I asked Swami, Swami, what should I do? Cheppinan kada, he said. I told you no. He's already told in the dream. Cheppinan kada. Swami, BSc, what BSc should I do? As if it's very automatic. Swami said, maths. And so I chose MPC. When I finished, Swami specifically remembered this. Final year, calls me and says, Ravi, maths lo enta mark ochindi? How much did you get in maths? Swami, 90% ochindi, Swami. I got 90%. Chi, 10 marks ichesnava atle? 10 marks you simply gave off the examiner? 100% ravali. For me, you should get 100%, nothing less. So you see where I was, where Swami pulled me up. Okay? So that is what Swami does to your life. When he enters your life, only joy, only bliss, only happiness. After experiencing all this, if you don't realize he is God, then what are you? If you are a thinking human being, if you are a feeling human being, the automatic assumption, the automatic rationale, you will say that he is God. So this is how I came to this conclusion that Swami is God and I must worship him throughout my life. Every minute of my life I should live for him. Otherwise life is not worth living. I will stop here and maybe whenever Swami gives me a chance again, continue. Thank you. Sai Ram.
Loving pranams at the lotus feet of our most beloved Bhagwan. Respected Ravi Kumar sir, dear brothers and sisters. So when I came today, I came just as part of the audience. I never thought that I would actually be standing here and would have the privilege of saying a few words after listening to your speech, which has taken all of us back to Swami's divine presence. Me specifically to the 3 sessions which I attended along with you, some of them. 2 things came into my mind, sir. In fact, I was speaking with some of our bhajan boys before I was telling them 2 things which you have narrated as which you definitely will remember this. One thing I always remember is, Swami vande 3 session la vande one thing he did not mention. A lot of times when I studied there, I studied from 94 to 97 in Brindavan when sir was in charge of was in the chemistry department. Many a times, Swami would call sir up next to the Jula, and especially if there's a guest, sir, you'll remember this, Swami will always ask the guest, and especially if the guest is totally new to Brindavan and to Swami, he would always ask the guest, see this boy, and sir was already a professor at that time. He would show Ravi Kumar sir and say, can you tell me which class this boy is studying in? And immediately that person would try to guess first UG, second UG, third UG. With a lot of pride, Swami would say, you know something? He's done PhD and then he is now a professor in Swami's college. The other thing, sir, which came to my mind was, you mentioned once that when you were writing, I don't remember which specific exam. I think it was something like an awareness exam. I'm not sure whether you had awareness in those days. You were sitting, Swami had come to the classroom, almost taken the role of an invigilator. If you remember, the question was, the assurances given by Krishna in Bhagavad Gita, if I remember right. Sorry, sir? Sorry, sir? Ooty summer course. After the post-summer course exam, the assurances given by Krishna in the Bhagavad Gita, Ananyas chintayanto ma yajana paripasate. Similarly, Yatra Yogeshwara Krishna, similarly, Yata Idahi Dharmasya, the assurance is given by Krishna. It's a very moving moment when I think about it. Sir narrated it very simply. I think he narrated to a group of boys. I was a part of it. Swami comes, Swami sits as an invigilator. Imagine the exam is about Bhagavad Gita and the invigilator is Lord Krishna. And even better, Sir was struggling with this particular answer, if I may remember right, just in front of you. And I remember Swami asked you also like this. Swami said, what happened? He was not getting the answer. And Swami, typically like Krishna, broke a rule there also. So he walks up and gives the answer. Imagine, first of all, the exam is on Bhagavad Gita. There you talk about Dharma. The invigilator is the Krishna who spoke about Dharma. And that Krishna breaks the Dharma of examination and gives the answer. I mean, that's his sweetness, the sweetness of his play. Swami gives him the answer 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The assurances which Krishna gave. I was just thinking about that moment a few minutes ago, sir. Can there be a greater moment for any human being in your life when the very Krishna who spoke the Bhagavad Gita speaks those assurances directly to you? A few thoughts which were running through my mind, sir. Thank you so much for, it's wrong to say thanks because we are all part of Swami's family. But for want of a better word, I thought, and on behalf of all of us here, sir, would collectively offer our affection and love to you. Sai Ram, Jai Sir.